Hey there, everyone. We are back with another crisp edition of Matchday -1 here from the St. David's Performance Centre. Adrian Healy and the lovely company of my best mate, Mr. Michael Lahoud. We are, this is, I should say, presented by our friends at PointsBet.
Ah, yes.
Always got to give them a shout out. Just wanted to start today, Michael, by talking sort of big picture, because kind of, at this stage of the season, a month in, 4 or 5 games under the belt, you can kind of try to sort of make some overall assessments, can't you? And it's always a case of what have you done for me lately in this sport? And so let's not get too influenced by recent results, which obviously haven't been good in the last couple of games. But here we are ahead of the Colorado Rapids game. Approaching our 5th home game of the season, and when you look at the table and the standings, you have to question what all the sort of all the bad feelings are about, because actually it ain't that bad, is it?
Well, I think the word is recency bias,
right,
in sports that we see time and time again. Just want to send a message out to all Austin fans.
Deep breath, relax,
breathe,
pause.
Breathe. I know when you suffer back-to-back defeats, as Austin FC did last week, it's so easy to want to go into crisis mode, but I do not see a crisis. I see some disappointing results, and I see a great opportunity for them to rectify that this weekend.
Absolutely. A big red do not panic button should be pushed to one side, or panic button. Just don't hit it. It's far too early for that.
No.
Something that sprang to my mind, Michael, what happened last season obviously was tremendous, but when you look at the ebbs and flows of the season, guess how many points we had after 4 games last year? Can you remember?
First two we definitely won by a lot. Remember that?
Yeah.
Then the Portland one.
Yeah, we lost.
Came up short. And
the next game was a weekend you'll remember well. It was your bachelor weekend.
Oh, yes.
A draw against Seattle.
Seattle, yes.
A draw against Seattle.
We come from behind draw.
After 4 games, we had 7 points. After 4 games this year, we have 6 points. We are talking a difference of 1 point. 1 point. We're still in decent shape. You can't claim a playoff place, can you? You can't win any league in the first few weeks of the season, and I think we're right in the thick of things.
I think now, given the modern day technology, the expected goals, the chances created, whether you win 1-0, whether you lose 1-0, whether you win 6-0, all the points count the same.
Yeah. Right?
And obviously if you lose, you don't get any points. But I saw a statistic earlier this week about Atlanta United and what they're doing.
Yeah.
And yes, Thiago Almada is playing out of his mind. One of the highest chances created in the league, joined by Sporting Kansas City, a team who have not got off the ground. And some of the other teams, I think San Jose, a team who's also struggling to get off the ground. So stats are one thing, points are another. We're right in the thick of things when you look at the bigger picture of points.
And we will be even more in the thick of things should we take care of business this Saturday against Colorado at the Rapids. So let's get to the showdown. A team against whom we have already a rich history in our rather short life in MLS. What's your sort of big picture thinking coming into this for the Verde and Black against a team, as you mentioned, who have not had the best of starts themselves? In fact, much rather be in our position than in the Rapids position right now. Let's go 1 goal in 4 games and have a grand total of 1 point.
They're a team that can't put a complete game together.
Right.
And their most recent result shows that. For the first 60 minutes, I thought they were the better team, and we'll get more into the weeds with that. But they're a team that's struggling for players that are healthy, struggling for players that are available, and struggling to get results.
Is this the sort of game you want if you're Josh Wolf and his team right now? A win would be great, especially heading in, let's not forget, to a bye week the following week. So this will be the last game they play for 2 weeks and some much needed recuperation time. But what a huge bonus it would be to go into that break with a win. It would kind of change all the dynamic and conversation, wouldn't it? Is this the opponent you want to be playing, seeking that win?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And you look at their roster, you look at some of the question marks they have within their camp right now. Reaction. That's what I'm looking for from Austin FC. Last time that there was any question after the first leg of the Violette game, they gave a reaction with a standout performance at Real Salt Lake. I expect the same, and I think this could be the sort of reaction that gets them into the international break and then gets them some time to recoup, recover, and hit the ground running on the other side.
Yeah, and again, Michael, we say it in every home game, but the crowd can make a huge difference. You guys can make a huge difference. Don't let that support waver. They need it as much as they've ever needed it, and opposing teams can crumble under that. We've seen it happen. What better way to make the Rapids melt under the glare of the Q2 the support than to see that in action on Saturday night would be great.
Well, one big factor could be the weather as well. Yeah. In Colorado, in the Denver area, it's much cooler. You're not dealing with the heat and humidity. I went for a run this morning at 6:30. Yes, I wake up at 6:30 to go running. Why? Because I can and because I have to. Keep that good Austin food down.
He's doing it for me too, by the way.
No, but going for a run at 6:30 this morning, it was already in the mid-70s just about.
Wow. Yeah.
I mean, that is warm. Yeah. And it's going to be, even though there might be some chance of rain, it could be well in the 80s or high 80s. Colorado, that is going to be a factor when you're coming to Q2 Stadium.
Yeah. Our better moments against the Rapids have come up there. Two great wins, including that 3-2 win last July 4th. Haven't actually beaten them at home yet at Q2. It's a time that changed. And you know what? We're also owed a little favor from the refereeing crew, led by one Ted Uncle. I seem to remember things going a little astray in that department in our last home game against the Rapids.
I think maybe depriving an MVP candidate of what could have been, should have been a great opportunity to stake his claim to getting the Golden Boot and also MVP. But Ted Uncle, we'll accept that favor this time around at this matchup at the weekend. What I'm looking for in this match is how do we start the game, and really how do we start on both sides. In the first half of the previous game against Houston, and we'll touch on that very quickly, I thought we started very well, but it was coming out of the locker room. I think an Austin FC that starts well in both sides of the half is a very good Austin FC to play against.
Yeah, absolutely. And the question marks seem to all come in the same part of the field, don't they? For us, centre-back, who's going to play there? We don't have Leo Väisänen. For them, centre-forward. So they actually probably don't have a recognisable centre-forward starting. As you say, they have players missing due to international duty, just as we do. Yappy has been playing there. He won't be available. He's off with Owen Wolf at the with the under-20s. Rubio not available. He's with Chile. So we might see a very fast front line from them in Barrios and Lewis, you imagine.
Yeah, and those are two players who have already cashed in on a couple of occasions against Austin FC. So the Verdean Blacks backline will have to be wary about that pace. What Colorado like to do is they like to hit those diagonals. Lewis likes to drift out wide, even though he might play as a center forward. They also have Kevin Cabral, who hasn't featured much. One start so far this season. We could see him here at Q2 Stadium.
Right. So bring the noise. Make it loud. Make it as unfriendly an environment as possible for the Rapids. And 3 points on Saturday, and then 2 weeks just to reflect and regroup and build, and very quickly some of the events of March will be forgotten about. That's what this game is all about, isn't it? It's just moving on and turning a corner.
And I think back to May of last year, where there was question marks brewing. The team started really well. Points are starting to stack up in April, and then May came, and there was a bit of a points drought. Well, we all forgot about that, because when you come out of a break, you can just build momentum like you've never seen before. It's almost like a tidal wave effect.
Yeah, indeed. So that's Saturday night, 7:30 kickoff at Q2. The night before, Michael, more history being made. We've made so much history as a young club, but for the first time, Austin FC 2 will step out as a MLS Next Pro team and start life with a local derby. How about that? Against the Houston Dynamo 2. That's Friday night. 8 p.m. kickoff. Going to give you 30 minutes more to get there on a Friday night post-work. 8 p.m. And that's just down the road from here at Palmer Field at St. David's Performance Center. That should be a very special night. Actually, there's plenty of reasons to believe it may well sell out. The capacity is just over 1,000 there.
I think it will sell out. I think Austin FC fans, what I appreciate about them most of all is their soccer knowledge, their knowledge of who's coming up in the ranks, and their interest from every single level of this club, from the first team down to the academy, and now MLS Next Pro. I'm a big advocate of what MLS Next Pro means and what it will be, especially for this Austin FC 2 team. There's already some storied names in the youth ranks from around the world, a combination of draftees, a combination of players coming from Latin America, and now we'll see how it all fits together.
Yeah, we get to apply some payback to the Dynamo pretty quickly, don't we? Albeit at the second team level. But tickets still on sale. Went on sale to the general public last Monday, 10 a.m. And I think there's still a few left. But should be a very special night to be a part of. I know the supporters group will be up here and bringing some of the things they bring to the table as well. So that's Friday night against Houston. Let's take the temperature of the Lahoud mood, and you delight us every week with Michael by in one word encapsulating perhaps what the Austin fan base are kind of thinking about, feeling. What's that word this week?
Well, this week I was having my tea, and I always have my tea, and that's where the Lahoud mood comes from. As I was having my tea, I put the cup down, and then it hit me. The mood is redemptive. Ooh. And for Austin FC to redeem themselves and have the redemption to go into this international break, they'll have to do these two pre-mood things. The first is runs off the shoulder from wide players. Colorado struggles with that. Their two outside backs are not the most mobile. They struggle in defensive recovery, and teams that have gotten results against them have been dynamic in their movement from wide areas. Ethan Finley, I think this could be a good game for him. We'll see what Josh Wolf does with the lineup, but I'm looking at Ethan Finley to have an impact. And second is set pieces, but not in the ways we're used to talking about set pieces for the Rapids. The Rapids are typically a very good team on set pieces attacking. This season, they have struggled defending set pieces, already giving up a couple goals.
Right, which I'm sure Sebastian Juice is looking at, licking his lips. And is this the night where Giassi Zardes really announces his arrival against one of his former teams? You know how that is.
Oh, he'll be chomping at the bit. We already have a couple players who have done well against their former teams. Max Cerruti performing well, so close against Houston with the header off the bar. I think it's now Giassi's turn.
Yes, I love it. Redemptive. What a mood. Let's take that into to Saturday night, and let's finish with a moment of gratitude. 2 or 3 games to keep our eyes on before we even get to Saturday. The international call-ups: Leo Väisänen, Owen Wolf, Babosi Bayronga.
Yeah,
did I get that right?
Yeah, well done. Well done. Right on the money.
So Leo in 2 Euro qualifiers. Actually, one of them will have already happened when you see this, against Northern Ireland and against Denmark. Owen Wolf playing 3 times for the US Under-20, France, England, and Serbia. And Babosi in AFCON qualifier, actually, against Tanzania.
Oh, the Tanzania derby.
I know you were watching your Sierra Leone yesterday, but no, lots to look at there. I hope we get to see some of that action as well.
Well, we've been looking to see who would be some of the first names to get international recognition and be some of the first international call-ups for the club. Now we have them, and we have them across some of the biggest stages in the world.
Yes, indeed. So keep your eye on those players and how they progress. And if you can't be there at Q2 Stadium, tune in. Apple TV, MLS Season Pass on Saturday night. I get to call a game from Q2.
I want to sign off on that, Mr. H. How are you feeling about that? I know this is a moment that's been brewing.
Yes,
but how are you feeling? We can't not talk about this.
I'm very, very, very excited. It's been a long time coming. But it's going to be, of course, bittersweet, because I would much rather have you in the booth with me, and we're still working on that. But no, I am tremendously excited to kind of be able to be a part of, showing this stadium and fan base and team off to the national audience. And I just hope it goes the way we all hope it goes, Yeah. I'll be calling it as a neutral, sort of.
So you mean you'll be sitting in with your Verde jacket on? We're not seeing announcers with
maybe the Verde underwear. Camera. Maybe that's not a picture you want to picture, but it'll be there somewhere, and going to indoctrinate Kobe Jones into the Verde way. Yeah. He's really excited about coming.
I
he came here once for a US national team game against Jamaica, that World Cup qualifier. But that's the only time he's been here. He hasn't been here for an Austin game yet. So,
well, I can tell you, talking with a bunch of our close friends and people who are big fans of yours, they can't wait to tune in. I know Austin fans around the world and around the country can't wait to tune in, especially here in Austin.
Yeah. So if you can't be there in person, hope to be have the pleasure of your company on Saturday night, Austin and Colorado. 7:30 kickoff for Michael and I. Thanks for being with us. So we'll be back with another edition of Matchday 1 very shortly. Thanks for watching, guys.